that Michael Jackson song, "We Need to Heal the World and Make It a Better Place for you, for me, and the entire human race," because people are dying, and if you care about the living, we all need to make it a better place for you and for me. Okay, what is up? What is up, my friends? I looked, and it seems that it is about 2 years since I have made a video. I have not been on this camera because I have literally been on the journey of self discovery. I saw Inside Out 1, I saw Inside Out 2, I saw Soul, and I discovered my own damn soul. Like, no tea. Like, I always was the person that was like, don't believe in anything. Like, well, I don't want to say don't believe in anything, but I will always say that I don't believe in anything. And I feel like for a long time, I really meant that. I think when my dad passed is when I honestly just gave up on myself. You know, I no longer thought I was worth anything to anybody. Mind you, I didn't talk to my dad for many, many years prior to him passing, but I think I still had. Well, not. I was gonna say I think I still had hope we'd get back together, but I was gonna say it's not even that. It's just that even if you don't talk to somebody, if they're alive, they're alive. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure people can figure out ways to talk to someone. But once you're dead, you're very much so dead. And, like, people ask me, like, what do you think happens when you die? I don't know. I ain't been dead yet. So, I ain't been dead. And nobody's been dead and came back to tell us. So, yeah. Um, but in this time, like I said, of self discovery, you guys, I have found out so much about my physical health, my mental health, and I've just been trying to process everything. Truly, I've been trying to process everything. And when I say process everything, I mean coming back here to the state of Pennsylvania. Previously, when I was making videos, I was in Maryland, I was in Virginia. I was out like with my ex, and we were doing all kinds of like super fun things, all in like that DMV area. But after my dad died, I told you I literally like my brain broke, and I left my boyfriend at the time, and honestly, I left him and pretty much anybody who was trying to talk to me. Um, Once my dad passed, I feel like I alienated all of those folks because I just it's not actually, no, that's not true. When my dad died, I definitely feel that my brain broke. Last year, you guys, and mind you, my dad passed in 2023, so I literally got back December of 2023, and it's just so much going on. But like I said, come 2024, like I said, 2023 is where my dad passed, and I really felt like everything fell apart. And mind you, that was 2023. Last year, 2025, my maternal grandmother passed, and I realized that I was not the person that I wanted to be. That's the long story short. And I'll be damned if I get on this camera and talk to you guys as an imposter. The things that I say here and my ideas that I have here are all authentic and all true. And my goal in having this channel was to try and be the big sister to myself, if that makes any sense. I tried to think about all the different types of videos that I would have needed as I was, growing up. And so moving forward, that's exactly what you're going to get. Like I said, I've been navigating a lot of things, physical health and disabilities and all those things like that. But I feel like those things need their own video. I was gonna get on here and like I was gonna try and like deep dive into everything like one video, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna chop and screw and do. But it's like that is not at all what is necessary. What is necessary is, like I said, get into the tea, and the tea is, like I said, I swear to you, I've been like daydreaming for the past like 2 years. The stories y'all are gonna hear. I tell you what, I am a cautionary tale. You see the things that I have done, and I need you to take heed, okay, and see what you can learn from that. I tell you what, I don't think that anybody should want to be anybody, and I think that's also what has been holding me back because I kept comparing myself to other people that I perceived as better than me. Mind you, like there's this saying called um you say what they say. Some people say the grass is always greener on the other side, but I have learned through these 2 years that the grass is green where you water it, where you care for it, where you're putting in the time and the effort. And I realized too in these 2 years that like me as a person, I feel like this is gonna sound so crazy, y'all, but I feel like I'm a plant. I feel like I'm a plant. I love willow trees. I think they're really pretty. But I feel like I'm a plant, and what I mean by that is I feel so much better when I am grounded and with nature. And also trees are so important for the world. You know what I mean? Like trees are the whole reason that we have the oxygen. I mean, obviously, I mean, not even just trees, you guys. Like just foliage. Like that's literally what I realized that that Michael Jackson song, "We Need to Heal the World and Make It a Better Place for you, for me, and the entire human race," because people are dying, and if you care about the living, we all need to make it a better place for you and for me and my sweet baby bear Kobe. That's who you saw as well. Over these 2 years, that's also what I've been doing. I got this beautiful ass puppy that y'all saw at the beginning, and he is my therapy dog. So as y'all know, I was in the military, and I am a disabled veteran, and I got PTSD. I've got anxiety, and through these 2 years, I learned, well, not learned, but it's like kind of really set in that I have severe chronic back pain. I've just been kind of like pushing through for several years, but it's to the point now where I can't even like after like 30 minutes of driving, like my back hurts so much. And then like my feet, like when I was back in college, I used to be an athlete. I played rugby. I would go for runs and stuff like that. But now I have metatarsalgia, which if you look at your foot, this part here, all of like the padding that's supposed to like protect my foot when I run, gone, dunzo. Just for how hard I had been pushing myself, in the military and personally. And I was again just reflect, like that's literally what I keep saying, this is what I've been doing. Like these are things I've been doing over these past 2 years, just really looking at myself and my life to see if this is who I want to be, you know? And it's so strange, like it's so strange. I realized also that I was disappointed in myself. I realized I was very disappointed in myself over these past 2 years. And yes, I went to charter school. I went to public school. Fun fact: I repeated the fifth grade 2 times. Or actually once. I said 2 times. That would mean that I did it 3 times. I did fifth grade twice. And then I ended up going to a Quaker private high school for 10th through 12th grade. And to be very honest with you guys, I was very shaky as to whether or not I was going to make it through the private school. And I say that because when you're at like, the public schools and the charter schools, it's like all we're doing is trying to make sure we ace these tests. You know what I mean? You're trying to remember as much as possible so you can ace the test. But when I went to my private school, I realized everything was like trying to get you to learn something, yes, but think about it afterwards, if that makes any sense. Like the tests weren't um, trying to test you for how well you were able to remember a specific thing. The tests were trying to see how well you were able to read the material and extrapolate things from it. My teachers were like, we think that you're smart. We think you can do it. And I'm like, I think I can do it too, but I keep getting D's and C's. Like, you guys, like, I don't know what's going on. So they say, go to a learning specialist. And I was like, what the hell is that? What the hell is a learning specialist? Let's just start there. Like, what is a learning specialist? It turns out this lady helps kiddos who quite literally do not know how to learn. Like the concept of learning, they quite literally have not grasped it. And at my private school, that's what I was learning. That all I was doing was just trying to remember as much as possible that I thought the teacher was going to put on the test. You know, I'm treating the teacher like it's like AI. I'm like, their voice changed with this one, so this must be on the test. And like those are the only kind of things that I was like studying. So yeah, and after my first year at college, I ended up going to the military because I was not able to afford to continue going. And joining the military was like a whole nother experience, like having to become a whole nother person. Because being in the military, you can't just be like Joe Schmo civilian off the street. They gonna eat you alive. You have to do a lot of like mental work to prepare you to be a soldier, to protect and serve. And once I took on that responsibility of like being a soldier, I did go back to school. So like I'm like a soldier. I'm going to school. I had like a car, and after like the first year, I ended up getting an apartment. So I'm taking care of the apartment. Then I got a part time job. So it's just like it's like I've just been doing everything possible to try and just like get money, get money, get money, get money. Like, going to college, joining the military, everything is like get money, get money, get money. And I thought about it. What is the point? I like literally trying to imagine it. Like, what point is it to be on top of Mount Everest alone and cold? You know what I mean? Or maybe no, you got money, so you're full of all the stuff to keep you warm, right? But there's nobody up there with you, or the people that are up there with you, perhaps you paid them to come, so they're pretending to have a good time. You know what I mean? I realized the grinding thing, the dying pursuit to be a trillionaire. That's what it was. I don't know if I was 13, 14, something like that. I was a teenager, and I said to myself, I'm gonna be trillionaire Tyra. Hell yeah, that's a real thing. And I think Jeff Bezos might be a trillionaire or dangerously close. And the amount of investment and time it took that man to build that company, and the amount of people and resources it took, I mean, you need to find another one of him. You know what I mean? And I realized for myself, like, that is not what I want at all. I don't want no fame. I don't want no notoriety. I literally just want kind human beings. I want people to be emotionally balanced. And I realized I was the SpongeBob at the job. Mind you, I just started rewatching SpongeBob, and I always said that SpongeBob was like really like that's my guy. And like watching it now, I literally am the SpongeBob at the job, like super super like bright and sunny and just literally trying to do the most. And although my intentions are good, it's not necessary. You know what I mean? So because you working for someone else's company, that's what I mean by it's not necessary. When you're working for someone, your whole goal is whatever the mission is of that company. You gotta help them accomplish whatever that is. It's not your business anything else that's going on in the company other than what exactly they hired you for. And I realized when I was getting hired at places, I was trying to think of all these things that they would probably want even though they didn't ask. I'm looking into things that they probably want, but they clearly don't want because they did not ask. But it was like I was afraid to reach out for help because I didn't want to seem like I was unqualified for the job or that I couldn't be a self-starter. But mind you, you guys, if you get a new job, number freaking one, ensure you have enough training before you just go off to the races, okay? You do not want to be at your job not knowing what to do. It's important if while you're doing this thing called life that you document the things in life that you have been able to figure out. Because there's so many, like if you ever seen Inside Out 2, there's so many like lost souls because people are all the same thing that I thought, like I said, like, I just need money, I just need money, I just need money. And it's like, you have to think about it. Like I said, you literally have to think about it. What do you need the money for? What do you want the money for? You know what I mean? Like having is your whole goal to just be like king on earth, queen on earth, And I realized that is not what I want to be at all. I want to be one of many leaders helping people specifically to emotionally regulate themselves. I'm actually trying to work with the VA to go back to school to get my doctorate in psychology, and I cannot wait to see how this process goes. I'm going to keep you guys along for the ride because I feel like that is what's missing. I feel like that is what's missing. We need more SpongeBob, but we need SpongeBob with anxiety pills and like a mood stabilizer because he had a lot going on. You know what I mean? So I think I'm SpongeBob, but I am now like meeting with my mental health professionals. I have a psychiatrist who has prescribed me medicine for the various mental things, and I have a psychologist that talks to me about the various mental things, and I also have a pain management person who helps me come up with things to do other than wallow on my couch and think about how my feet hurt and I'm eventually end up in a wheelchair and like how I take pills every day to be level. But it's like, girly pop, oh no, what happened? Where'd you guys go? Okay, you're still here. Sorry, my screen went dead. But I realized yeah, like there is so many people and so many things that need to be learned and need to be taught that those of us who are able to explain ways in a way that people can understand, I feel like it's our civic duty to to share the things that we know, because as we all know, everybody doesn't have access to education, you know, and ultimately, once you graduate, be it college, GED, you graduated prison, whatever, what have you, now you have to go out and make your own life. And if you did not have a leader in your life to show you how to do life, it is very unlikely that you're going to do life right. It's very likely you're going to do everything wrong, and very much so end up in jail. And that's why I think, like, when I was growing up, my elders always used to tell me, you're going to go to college or you go to the military. College or the military. And it's so funny because if you play the game of life, there's an option that says just go straight to work, you know? And for me, I was always told college, college or military, college or military, that to just work never occurred to me, because the jobs that I was getting, as a high schooler, I was working at Ross making $9 an hour. Okay, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm finna go to college and get me a little $30 job, $40 job, something. You know what I mean? Honestly, I never even looked past like having like a $25 an hour job. I thought like $25 an hour, you were making $100,000 a year. It's no tea. So like, I got my first job. I was making $55K, and I was like, I'm rich. I'm a millionaire. Everybody needs to talk to me nice. Everybody needs to call me madam. Okay, like I was like, I was literally feeling it. But it's what I realized though. It doesn't matter if you have a job that's paying you $55K or a job that's paying you $9 an hour. What are you doing in your free time and with the monetary value that you're getting from that thing? You know. And I realized when I was working at the $9 an hour job, it was like a retail thing, and I never had money, you guys. They had me at the cashier right next to my size of clothes. Like, what was I supposed to do other than shop with the money I made? So, needless to say, when I finally was trying to get like a big girl job, I did not work anywhere where I would want the product or the services that they were using, because ultimately you're just just like, you're not even doing anything. You know what I mean? You're just like giving your money like back to the place, which would be great if it's things that you actually need. But working at retail, how many skirts do you need? How many dresses do you really need? You know what I mean? So I realized that. So, but my job has always been human resources, because I feel like I'm a human and I should be a resource to my fellow humans. I actually, throughout these 2 years, I've developed this way of being now. It's like, if I interact with someone or something, I intend to leave it better than what it was before. And I say intend because my father's mother, she told me this profound statement. She said, you can offend people by trying to help them. And I did not understand what she meant. She said, some people really do want to, some people really do need to go on their own journey in trials and tribulation to understand what life is like. Because if you were to just tell them this is what life is like, or to casually show them this is what life is like, they would not be able to fully grasp and understand the value and the meaning of living and being here in this world and in this country. And I quite literally had to like have a freaking mental meltdown to figure that out. I shit you not. Wednesday, what day was Wednesday? I think that was April 30th. I'm pulling the calendar now. Nope, it was April 29th. April 29th. Literally all these things I've been saying for the past 20 minutes, like, they all finally clicked together. Like, always wanted to just dedicate my time to doing social media. And like I said, I also wanted to get my doctorate. And so guess what? I'm disabled and I live near a local school. And you guys, guess what the local school needs? Guess what the local school needs? A psychology intern, you guys! Oh my gosh, sorry if I had the little white boogers. I took a nap and like literally, because I had like probably 2 hours of sleep last night. I've been having a lot of trouble sleeping actually since I got this brain blast, and I told you guys, like, I have to tell you, like, you guys, y'all gotta know the tea, y'all gotta know what's up. Like, I can't believe I just believe in y'all hanging. That's some old low down dirty booyahs. And I need to repent. And I most definitely will. And yeah, so I just literally all of that, you guys, all of that. I hope it makes sense, but all of that is what I've been doing and what I have been discovering. And also in this time, actually, 2 years ago, 2024, she locked her hair. That's what this is. Yes, these are not individuals. My hair is interlocked with like a crochet needle or whatever. And I do want to tell you guys what to expect moving forward. So, of course, you're going to get the hot topics. Of course, you're going to get your story times. And we're going to do my lock journey and taking care of my hair. Because I realized once I locked my hair and I realized, it was so much easier, I realized I started neglecting my hair. Because I'm just like, oh, well, it looks nice, so I don't need to wash it. Well, I wash it all the time, but it's like moisturizing it. I find that I'm very dry, like my head. I need to drink more water, more natural juices and stuff. You know what I mean? Because like I find, I literally like I said, I think this is why I made such a good soldier. Like I'm very mission based. Like I wake up and it's literally on my agenda. I say on my agenda. It's literally on my reminders to make an agenda, which is like my mission, my list of things that like. This is one of my old ones. This one was to record a video. You can see I literally did everything else on the list except for that. So and this was 5/1. This was literally yesterday. Today is May 2nd. I wrote down to record because I wanted to tell you guys about my brain blast. I didn't want to come on when I was still like crying and everything because I did not think that would be received well at all. Being emotional is great, but you need to bring back embarrassment. I would be embarrassed if y'all saw me boo-hooing with the snot bubbles up on here, this internet. Also, like I said, I'm working with the VA to go back to school. I had this job analysis that I had to do, which is where or career analysis rather. So to go back to school, you have to, obviously figure out what you want to study and then look and see what jobs you could get with that degree that you wanted to study. And I really, 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 like I said, all I've been doing is human resources. So I was like, well, if I ever go back to school, I would just like major in marketing or like I'll major in like communications or human resources. I was like, that's what I'm going to do, balls to the wall. I am solely human resources. But then I thought about it, you guys, my whole degree is in psychology. And the only reason I ever got like books and school and all of that like really made sense to me because I wanted to be a neurosurgeon. And no, I'm not going back to school to be a neurosurgeon. I was just saying I wanted to be a neurosurgeon. I was very fascinated about the brain and why it does the way that it does. And I said I can't be a neurosurgeon, you guys, because I'll like keep this between us, because I'm hoard. Okay, I'm hoard. I can't do vomit. I can't do bad smells. Listen. I can't do weird textures. I can't even taste weird textures without like, ugh. Like I'm literally like I have so many like little weird like bits and bops about myself. However, through psychology, I learned how these things are able to come about in people, and I find that incredibly fascinating. And I wish that more people had access to just a basic psych education, to be very honest. You know what, I know somebody at the school district. I'm gonna ask them, do they have something like that, like a program for well, actually no, they do. I don't even have to ask, they do. So the school district in Philadelphia has this program for kids in their or not even Pennsylvania, actually America, because that's what I was googling. In America, we are now as a country investing more money into the mental health of our kiddos, you guys, of our kiddos. And I tell you what, working with adults for the past 10 years made me feel like living was not good. It made me feel like I was literally going to live long enough to just be a villain and an evil, malicious person, because I just felt like everybody that I met was just mean. Like, you walk down the street, you say hi with a smile, and they're like, grr. Like being from the city, like people are just not that friendly. And then depending on what school you went to, you look at somebody wrong, 7 a.m., your behind is getting tore up, okay? You're going to be a full soup sandwich in front of everybody because you looked at somebody wrong, So I feel like if people knew how to, no, not even people, if I knew how to emotionally regulate myself before May 1st, I think I would like have transcended to the 17th dimension by now. However, I literally needed to learn. You know what I mean? I always felt like that's what's wrong with humans. Like we only need joy and we need all the basic things to survive, and then everybody will just be like prosperous. And then I saw the movie WALL-E, where that's basically what it is. It's like a utopia, but everyone sits in a chair and like they can't do anything. So it's just like, oh, okay, so so not that. So I realized that, what I started to do? I actually started to study America, like literally the country of America. I started to study it because I was like, why am I here? Like, why be here and nowhere else? Because they like, if you meet people from other countries, they be telling you that America is a shithole or America with a Gucci belt, and I was so like confused by that. Or I always have people say that America was a poop hole. It's America with a Gucci belt with Louis V bandana on or something like that. And I never understood how somebody could say such a thing if you came here from another country. You know what I mean? Like, how are you in grave detail telling me that America is so awful, but you literally chose to come here and say that your life is better here than where it was? So why are you saying that it's terrible? You know what I mean? Like, it was like a very, very confusing thing. And then you know what, you guys? Because I was hearing that so much from so many different types of people. Like I said, you got to talk to the rainbow now. You can't just talk to everybody that's green, everybody that's blue. You got to talk to everybody in the rainbow, okay? And I realized that is a going thing for people like me, that you are not supposed to have hope. When I was growing up in middle school, you guys, this was fourth grade actually. This was fourth grade. I went to a school that was horrible, that doesn't exist anymore because it was horrible. And our teacher wasn't there that day because it was a substitute. And I don't even know what we were supposed to be doing, to be very honest. But all I know is the class as a whole was not learning anything. That's all I can tell you. They were just doing whatever they want and cursing and just... It was like, in fourth grade, every day somebody in the class had to get kicked out because they was fighting somebody or they stabbed somebody. Like, it was very much so world war, you know? And this one particular day, we had a TA come in, and she was trying to get us to, like, listen to her. Nobody was listening to her. Nobody liked her. She was always, like, mean to us. So it's like, why would we even listen to you, lady? But she yelled. She got our attention, right? And in fourth grade, you're like, what, 9, 8? This lady says to us, basically, like, you might as well pack it up now, because y'all gonna be in jail or dead or pregnant or in a psych institution by the time y'all turn 18. So you might as well just pack it up. Like, why are you making everybody else's life miserable because y'all about to be miserable? She didn't say it like that, obviously, but that's what she said. And as a 29-year-old woman, so having heard that, 11 years ago, that is still... Well, it isn't still anymore, but that was something that used to, like tug at me. Like, yeah, like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? You are supposed to just shrivel up and die as an unremarkable and person, basically, or being, or thing. You know, you are supposed to just be forgettable. But I say no. I draw a line in the sand and say no. I think that it is my civic duty as a human being to exist, to, like I said, provide emotional clarity and grounding to all those that are also looking to be a better human for their better human. Because I literally can't tell the future, but I tell you what, I do have a list. Now, I used to make lists for the next day, but I don't do that no more, because they say if you make a list, what they say, to make a plan is to make God laugh. That's what they say. And like, the religion that I identify most with is Buddhism. And when I'm trying to focus, no, I do not picture Buddha. When I'm trying to focus, I picture clarity and grounding and calm, just like things of that nature. And that is also what I've been trying to demonstrate. If I feel really, really, really overwhelmed, just take that deep breath. Because I've had panic attacks, I've had anxiety attacks, I've had them so bad that I literally, my body has locked up. Like, I've been paralyzed with fear. I've literally had that. And I want to make sure that anybody within the sound of my voice doesn't have to go through that, you know? And then also the different, like I said, the health and physical problems that I've had, the various educational challenges, the dating challenges, family challenges, all that. I don't have all the answers, but I do have an answer, and perhaps it won't be able to solve your problem, but I hope from tuning in to me, you'll be able to pick up on things that is going to help you prosper in life. And yeah, I don't want to cry again. I miss y'all so much. Until next time, my friends.